God damn it. Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Trinity Infinity here on Thursday. It's the motherfucking come up. Let's do this thing.
Wakey, wakey.
Wakey, wakey. I like that. Here, get this fucking drum out of here. Let's party. It's Thursday. What's Thursday all about?
Expansion, growth, creativity.
Yeah. It's a good day to think about projects, think about where you're at with projects, maybe let some new ideas in, cast a wide net.
Yeah, how do you throw your net a little bit further out?
A little fucking further. Just like really put some spunk on it. A little razzle dazzle.
A little razzle dazzle.
Fucking whip it around.
You know I love a lasso.
Yeah.
That's the truth of where we are, you know, floating together in this endless sea, letting out the lasso, seeing what we can reel in.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
also collaborating. You know, I feel like there's no expansion without collaboration. There's no expansion without release and surrender of judgments, you know, to allow yourself to step into this next dimension.
Yeah.
You know, you got to like let it all go. We've been scrubbing it clean all week, and now's the fruits of all that release.
Great words. Yeah, I have a good Terrence McKenna quote I could read.
Please.
You guys like that?
I love him.
You like the sound of that? There's no way I can do his words justice, but I will try.
Can you put on his voice?
Nature loves courage.
Oh my God, he's so good.
I'm not going to do that. Nature loves courage. You make the commitment, and nature will respond to that commitment by removing impossible obstacles. Dream the impossible dream, and the world will not grind you under. It will lift you up. This is the trick. This is what all these teachers and philosophers who really counted, who really touched the alchemical gold, this is what they understood. This is the shamanic dance in the waterfall. This is how magic is done. By hurling yourself into the abyss and discovering it's a feather bed.
Oh wow, how perfect and synchronistic for this week.
And I didn't even know that. Because like 2 seconds before we got on here, you're like, Thursday, get it together, Sean. And I was like, I have just the fucking quote.
Waterfalls. The only thing he didn't mention is goats.
Yeah.
But it's okay, because we know they're there.
He is the goat, though. He is the greatest of all time.
Yeah, he's the goat, and he is telling you to be the motherfucking goat. He's like, because one of the best things I got out of the Michael Jordan documentary was him saying, I wasn't ever thinking about, he didn't say it like that, but I wasn't ever thinking about whether I would make the shot or not. Like, I'm not thinking maybe I'll miss the shot. Every shot he took it knowing he was going to make it.
Yeah, Michael Jordan is actually a great person to talk about in terms of using his imagination. Because, like, this motherfucker didn't even really play high school. He got cut from the high school basketball team. And then all of a sudden he became the best college player and then the best NBA player of all time, like, by sheer will. And you watch this documentary and you're like, this guy just fucking had a vision of being the best of all time and nothing could fucking stop him. And other players bought into this fucking story too. It was crazy, this like universe he created.
Talk about the courage of stepping into the discomfort too.
Yeah.
You know, he was stepping into the discomfort of becoming a baseball player, and maybe he wasn't the best baseball player, but he fucking brought us motherfucking Space Jam, which is the best fucking movie.
He did bring us Space
Mare's
Jam.
eyes are like, I don't know about that, but I'll go with it.
It is the best movie.
I love it.
You got to trust Cass when she says.
He's my Virgo brother.
Is he a Virgo?
The most stereotypical Virgo.
What does that mean?
That whole like work over everything and that whole understanding of like I'm okay to sacrifice my personal life and everybody for this work.
Oh yeah,
because this work is more important than all of that bullshit, and that's like
this work is more important than being a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Work over my personal relationships. He's like fucking hard on you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He wants you to fucking try as hard as he does, but it's like, who's gonna try as hard as Michael Jordan? Like, come on.
Speaking of like more Virgo examples, like you gave last night, Beyonce.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson is also a Virgo.
Interesting.
Crazy work ethic stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Crazy work ethic stuff.
Thank God for all those Virgos who
Thank God.
like to work, because it's hard for some
I
of
wonder
other
what
ones.
McKenna's sign is.
Yeah, we got to look it up.
Let me look it up real quick.
I think he's a Pisces or an
What do you think?
Aquarius.
Maybe a Gemini.
All right, our bets are in.
I need to listen to him talk more, to be honest.
Scorpio.
Oh,
Cool.
shit. Never would have guessed. Maybe
Wait.
I could have.
McKenna had the Sun, Venus, and Jupiter in tropical Scorpio in the 12th house, along with a Scorpio ascendant.
Wow, very Scorpio.
It says the sign of Scorpio is associated with death and rebirth, occultism, psychology, and sexuality.
Oh, and he's got the M, like you were saying how last week you were saying how the M is self like fucking hitting yourself. The Scorpio's like hitting elsewhere.
Yeah, so the Scorpios and Virgos are connected through the story of Persephone to the underworld. And they have the same glyph, but the tail of the Scorpio glyph goes outwards. It's penetrating. It's the only feminine penetrating sign. And the Virgo glyph, it goes inwards. The tail goes in.
You have the Virgo glyph on your hand.
I do indeed.
And so with Terrence, it's like you kind of think that he penetrates you in a way that you wouldn't expect through like the auditory realm, you know, taking you into new ideas, telling you, you know, let's get uncomfortable, let's think about how this world works and have like a different relationship to it so we can peel back what's going on or indulge in the great mystery of it all.
Absolutely. Unearthing volcanic truths. Very plutonic, very scorpionic energy.
Yeah.
And constantly, I mean, if you're somebody that's a psychonaut, you're probably somebody that's really dancing that life and death question all of the time, right? Like that he was able to really like broaden his scope and his perspective on everything else because he was able to see past the mortal coil.
I think that is like a huge tenet of like we talk about living a psychedelic life, which doesn't necessarily mean taking psychedelics all the time,
Totally.
but a willingness to die, a willingness to just fucking let go, release even old versions of yourself. Like that's what I love so much about the dance of this relationship is like the version of me that was me before I met you doesn't apply anymore. And I love it. So it's like now I just get to do the slightly better version of that and be letting go of judgments and fucking all the bullshit in real time. It's such a fucking beautiful practice.
So you can expand into a holy trinity affinity forever and always into the deep.
And let go the parts of you that are telling yourself you're not going to make the shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right on.
That's what Michael Jordan did.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and I don't know if it was him or maybe Kobe Bryant talking about, I know a lot of coaches back in the 90s got up on the imaginal techniques and were starting to ask, like, when you go to sleep at night, imagine yourself getting the free throw every time.
Yeah. Phil Jackson was big into that. He's big into making the team meditate. Like you join the team and he's like, you got to start meditating. And players were like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you're on that free throw line, you best believe that it's probably a good thing to like silence it. I mean that's what Tiger Woods kind of attributes, or people attribute Tiger Woods' success to, is that he was from a young age trained to like his dad would fuck with him and be dangling change in his pocket when he's trying to hit the putt.
Yeah.
And he just like created a shield around himself where he doesn't hear that or it doesn't affect him. He was able to like, and you kind of almost do need to be challenged to be able to zone in. Who was it? Alan Watts says like, if you can't meditate in a boiler room, like
You can't meditate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. And like the thing with Tiger Woods too, he's and this didn't happen with Michael Jordan. It happened with Tiger Woods though. Like you see this guy who just had unearthly talents and the media fucking came for him and it busted that shield and then he sucked for like 9 years. Like he lost the magic. He went from like unstoppable, unbeatable to like just your average player with like very human characteristics of self-doubt. And
That's why it's so important for us to like understand the GOATs, because once you do, you see like a lot of it's up here, and having your mental vigility, is that a word?
Vigility.
Loves
Nice.
it.
Cass is on fire
I'm
with the new
expanding
word.
the human language into new words.
Yeah.
You know?
I adore it. Cass Dictionary.
That's what it feels like when you listen to McKenna. It almost feels like those Orphic hymns. You know? It's like, what are these words? Like you're using words in a different way, and I'm somehow understanding words I never even heard before. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. Goats.
Big time.
Big goat energy.
Big time. Yeah, to level up, because this is really good for the conversation of growth and expansion. How do you let go of the parts of yourself telling those shitty stories?
You don't cling to them.
Because it seems like frustration brings that clinging.
Yeah.
Gotta get swifty.
Like if you have fun sucking, there's something about that fun, right, that keeps it flowing.
Oh yeah, I think we've all been through that.
Enjoy the dance even when it's got you like fucking on the ground in the fetal position. You're in the fetal position, you're so scared and you feel so small and everything's overwhelming, but like you just gotta like dance a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still dancing.
You're still dancing.
Yeah.
You know, the universe is like, oh, that's how you want to dance? Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
There's a whole infinite universe out here if you want to just like move your body a little into it.
The endless
lean into
sea.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the endless sea of you, the endless versions of you. So that when you make that mistake, you know that the next second of you is a different version of you, so you don't have to make that mistake again. Give yourself space instead of holding yourself to the last second version of you that made that mistake.
New beginnings, man. That's what it is.
We were doing right before we went to bed last night, we tried to say some prayers and just like honor everything that happened that day and just like tie it all up. And I was thinking about how last Thursday we were sending messages to our younger, more confused selves. And I'm like, does it work when you send messages to your future self?
Probably more so.
And that's what we were doing last night. Like, because like I just got this feeling of like, yo, everything's going to be okay. It's going to be more than okay. Like, fucking life is rad. And if you're committed to that and you're telling that story to yourself, like it will keep coming through. So I was just fucking sending out messages to the future motherfucker that is fucking loving this shit. Like, hey, be thankful for us who are down here fucking grinding it out during pandemic, fucking on unemployment, still keeping a smile on our face, just still trying to figure it out with, you know, no work in sight, still fucking just showing up.
See it in the mind's eye.
I see it too. We did a fucking, like, we have these little bits of like these little reminders have been coming to me lately of like my actual capability, my real magic. And they're so small and they probably wouldn't make sense to other people. But the other day, you know, James Peach was leaving and he was like, so what are you guys up to? What do you got coming up? And, you know, I was just like put on the spot and I don't know. I haven't really been thinking about it. So just right away I was like, I know we need money, so I was like, commercial work. We got commercial work coming up, and as far as I know, we don't. 5 fucking minutes later, Cass got an email. Our first email.
Well, I checked my email. and I was like, oh, you know, 5 minutes ago when you said we're doing commercial work, like an email came through.
Yeah.
But he's like, you got to keep to it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't just be like, oh, well, that's the commercial work. No, it's like,
No.
now we got to keep you got the job. They picked you out of all the treatments and all the things.
Render the story out.
Yeah,
you
man.
know? And you know, I think Noah does a really good job of explaining how to do this. And I love when he says, you know, just imagine the person who's already received all of this stuff that you want and that you desire. And imagine what that feels like and just inhabit that motherfucker's consciousness for a minute. And I feel like that's what really helps these spells.
Oh, yeah. I can get so caught up in the difference between who I want to be and who I am. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
Instead of what Noah talks so brilliantly about, which is just arriving to that person. You're just there already.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
no in between.
serving that person. You were talking about this last week.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I want to do the thing that the person 3 days from now is going to be like, that's cool that you did that
Totally.
thing. That was a cool reaction, Mare.
Totally.
You know?
And honestly, I do pat myself on the back all the time in my house. Like yesterday, Mary, you're fucking best.
Oh, my God. Jeez. You really are, though.
I got to when we work all alone, you know, like
Yeah.
I got to be my own pep talker and my own, you know.
Yeah, totally.
Somebody's got to tell me I'm doing good.
I mean, you're fucking killing it. You sent us your scratch tracks and your demos, and it just like it fucking fills my life with such warmth because I'm like it's like,
especially that they're fuzzy too.
yeah, well, especially the direction you're taking things now, but also just like the vulnerability of sharing demos. Anytime a musician is willing to share that kind of stuff with us, I'm like, wow, we must have earned this, you know, us being, like you say, like creative art doulas or whatever.
Yeah, you guys are psychedelic labor doctors.
We're gonna.
They
birth
birth artists into themselves. They birthed me into myself, and they do it to other people I've witnessed.
Yeah, yeah.
Countless lives be changed. Countless Souls be born.
Yeah, so if you don't dually yourself, we're coming for you.
Exactly.
Please yourself or we'll do it.
They don't care what you're having, but they support it.
Yeah. Well, this is Thursday's becoming my favorite day, not only because I get to sit in the middle, but it's like because like it's the art day. It's the day of just like, yeah, what are the ideas? Like, let's take this to 10. Let's move beyond 9.
Yes.
Let's move beyond 9.
Perfect.
Flow it out.
Flow it out.
See you guys tomorrow.
Thanks for joining us, the Trinity Infinity, here in the Church of Chill. This has been The Come Up. Peace, love, and magic.